Good afternoon, Norman Binkley families. Thank you for attending our Norman Binkley parent training. And our focus tonight is going to be on some of the online programs that we have available for you to help your child, to help accelerate your child's academic learning. If you have any questions during the presentation, our wonderful Dr. Wetstein, assistant principal here at Norman Binkley, will be in the Q&A. So if you have any questions as we're going through it, just put it in the Q&A and Dr. Wetstein will answer it right off the bat. Now, the reason we are doing this training is we just got done with parent conferences a few weeks ago. And of course, the main topic in those parent conferences is, and the main question we were asked by parents was, what can we do as a parent to help our child to continue to grow academically at home? So how can you help us help you get your child to accelerate their learning? So what we are going to do is give you some things that you can do at home with your child to help accelerate their learning. Now, there are a few things you can do at home to help accelerate your child's learning. A few of them we've talked about before. Just simply helping them with their homework, or having them read 20 minutes a night. The 20 minutes a night, I know I have that graphic in the Binkley News every week, just reading 20 minutes a night. If they do that every night, they are going to be a proficient reader. That is a guaranteed thing. So helping them with their homework, 20 minutes of reading a night. And you can see that last bullet there, and something we've been pushing is having a campus portal to keep up to date with their grades, with their test scores, things of that nature. That's also important. What our biggest focus tonight is to focus on some of the online programs that your child has available to them at Norman Binkley, and there's a lot of them. So we want to show you them, how you can get to them, and what they can do at home to accelerate their growth. All right. Now, all of the programs that we have at Norman Binkley are stored in one location, and that location is on Clever. So what we're going to do tonight is train you how to get onto Clever and see all the programs that your child has, that all we have to offer your child. And then we'll show you how you can track your child's data within those programs. All right, now let's go over some of those programs that are actually in Clever. All right, now these are some of the main programs that we have in Clever that are available to you that can help accelerate your child's learning. First, we have Lexia Core5. I will tell you as a parent, this has been probably the best intervention that I've used with my child. But it's a reading intervention, and actually it's a dyslexia specific intervention, which it's very good. If you are a K2 parent and you have a child in kindergarten through second grade, I'm telling you, you need to get your kid on Lexia a lot. I think it's the best thing that they can do. It really helps build a child's foundational skills. And I'm telling you, if they do this 60 minutes a week, they're going to be proficient when they get to third grade in reading. I'm telling you, it's really effective. And the way you can really track how they're doing on Lexia, you can track both minutes and units. So our expectation right now is that students do 60 minutes of Lexia a week and earn 12 units a week. That 12 units is important. Sometimes we focus on how much time they're on and not how many lessons or units they are passing. So that for them to progress in Lexia, they need to be getting units. And that's the important thing. I'll show you how you can track that in the program. Next, we have iReady, which really has a focus on the current reading and math standards. And the way to look at it is you can track minutes and lessons passed. So our focus is to have 30+ minutes each week and to try to pass 2+ lessons a week. We also have Imagine Learning, which is an EL support tool. We won't really talk through that tonight, but that is something that is there for our EL 1s and 2s. We have Brain Pop, which is available, which is a lot of great videos that your child has available to them. And it's really a great tool to help build your child's academic vocabulary. I know my children like to go on there and look at different videos. And one of the biggest things when children are struggling with comprehension and struggling with reading, sometimes it's about they don't have the academic vocabulary when reading through the text. And something like Brain Pop is an easy way to build that academic vocabulary, and it's a fun way to do it. And we also have News ELA, which is just different news articles for students. All right. So now let's talk about how do we get on to Clever? How do we get on Clever from home? All right. So it's really simple. So first you'll just go to the MNPS website at www.mmps.org. All right, and you'll go to the top and click on Students. All right. Once you click on that Students, it's going to have you log onto your Office 365 account. All right, and once you get on there, once you put in that Office 365 account, it will log straight into Clever. And the best way to really get that Office 365 account is two things, and we'll talk about that in a second. But number one, just ask your child. Most children actually know their username and password to get into their computer, which is what the Clever sign-in is. And two, ask your teacher if your child doesn't know it. So now what we really wanted to do is actually just give some time to explore the Clever portal. So now we're gonna pull over Clever, and we're gonna start looking at some of the programs. All right. So hopefully you can see all the different programs here on Clever, and there's tons that you have here. So we're going to focus, these are some of the favorites that you have here. So we're going to first focus on the Lexia Core5. So we're going to click on that. All right, and click the arrow. All right, and this is where it will go. And of course, if you click the arrow at the bottom, you can start lessons, but this is actually the page that you'll want to use to actually track how your child is doing. Again, our goal in Lexia is to try to get a minimum of 60 minutes a week on Lexia, and we would like a minimum of 12 units. So this is my child's Lexia page, so we're sort of using it as an example. But you can see they have their 60 minutes in and their 13 units. So if you actually wanted to track if your child is actually using Lexia and actually passing the lessons, this is where you can go to do it. You see it right there. As you can see, if your child had this, you're happy, they're progressing, they're doing a great job. If you saw a lot of minutes and very few units, that's actually a little bit concerning. They're either really struggling or they're not really trying with the program. So it sort of tells you two different things. So that's how you get into Lexia. And then if you push that, it'll go through really a foundational skills curriculum. We're going to move out of Lexia and next go to iReady. So you see the iReady icon there. When you go into iReady, we have both reading and math. We're going to focus on the math piece. So in iReady, you have two different parts to iReady. The teacher can assign the lesson to you. So in this case, you can see my son, his math teacher actually assigned a math lesson. It's past due, so I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. But you can either do the teacher assigned lesson or you can do the path. And what the path is, all students have actually taken the diagnostic in math and reading. So actually on the My Path, it's actually picking lessons that are based on their level at this time. So when they took that diagnostic, it's saying where they're at, and then it's creating lessons to continue to move them forward academically. So that's where you would actually click that next lesson. You can click either one, the teacher assigned or that one. So that's both available. All right, let's go back to the previous page. All right, now if you go back down to the bottom where it says My Progress, when you click on this, this is where you can see how well your child is progressing through the week and for the year. So you can see with my child for the year, my child has passed 35 of 41 lessons. And for this week, my child has done 40 minutes so far. We want them to have 30 to 60. My child's got 40 right now. So that's actually where, if you click on My Progress at the bottom, that's where you can actually track how your student's doing. Is he putting time into it, and is he passing the lessons? All right, we're going to move on to a different app. All right, and we're going to go to Brain Pop. I know my daughter loves Brain Pop. I think it's really done a great job of building her academic vocabulary. So we're going to click on Brain Pop there. All right, and again, this automatically logs you in. And with Brain Pop, it actually gives lessons on numerous different topics. So what my daughter does, she goes home and she actually just likes to log on different things and just learn about different topics. So my daughter is big in the health and SEL part. So let's click on the health and SEL. All right. If you can hear, my daughter and son are behind me, so you can see her laughing because I'm talking about it. But if you go down to the bottom, all right, or not all the way bottom, but you can see all the different things that you can look at. So I think my daughter wants to be a nurse. So we're going to go into some of those personal health, or let's do personal health. So you can actually see different videos that you can watch on different topics. So if you click on any of these, we're not going to click on any right now, but it'll actually show you a video on that topic and they can learn about the topic. I'll tell you one, my daughter is big into the personal health piece. So I have diabetes, so she wanted to learn what diabetes is. So she went and found diabetes, and actually she watched the video, and then she could tell me what type 1 and type 2 diabetes was, etc. So this is just a great way to give them topics that they can study and look at. All children have availability to this. I will say, as a parent, you may want to check and see what videos your child is watching. But this is a great way to build academic vocabulary, guys, and it's fun. Kids have fun with this, and they learn about different topics. And you can actually see there, but wait, there's more. Your child also has access to the Brain Pop Junior, which is good if you're a kindergarten student, first grade student. That might be a better one. It's a little bit more simplistic, but it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit more towards the younger learner. And you also have a Spanish one as well. If you go back to that other page, we actually have a Brain Pop in Spanish as well, or in other languages. So actually, of course, my child is not taking the placement test, but they do have other languages. You can see here, you have the Brain Pop in Spanish that you can click. So even as a Spanish speaker, you have access to the videos in Spanish, which is a nice piece there, and you can continue to build that academic vocabulary. All right. So for another one, I'm going to go into something different. And I don't know if most parents know about this, but it's a nice thing to track. One of the things that students do every week, students will actually take sort of a quick SEL survey. And it basically just asks students, how are they feeling? Are they feeling good? Are they sad? Are they happy, etc.? And then we track that data. And if they're sad consistently, then our counselors are told, and then they try to intervene. And where that data is actually stored is in that Sown to Grow app. So we're going to click on that real quick. And if you go into Clever for your child and you want to say, how's my child feeling at school? How are they doing? This is where you would go, and you can see your child actually checks in once a week, and they'll actually check in and take that quiz. I'm not going to push the button, but if you go to the left where it says MNPS first 4 weeks, all right, number 2, we're not going to click on it, but if you click there, it'll actually show for the last 4 weeks of how they've answered that question. So if you're like, is my child happy at school? Is my child sad? How are they feeling at school, and what are they telling their teachers? You can actually click on that button there, and it'll actually tell you how your child is feeling at school and what they're telling the teachers about how they're feeling. It's a good thing. It's new this year, but students take 1 check-in a week, and it's just a quick emoji piece to where they click like different emojis for happy and sad. And like I said, we use that data to know who we need to intervene with if they're sad. All right. Now for people in 2nd through 4th grade, if you notice, we have the AR login there. And this is sort of secretive. I'm probably not supposed to say this, guys, but of course you know that students check out 3 books a week. We actually have the highest book circulation in the district. But we also tell kids they get prizes for taking AR tests and passing AR tests, and we're not supposed to take those quizzes at home. Shh, but you can if you click on this and just say you're at school and then take the quiz. So right now, a student has to know their password, which I know my children know their password, so I'm assuming for most 2nd through 4th graders, you can, but you can actually log in here. They just have to have their username and password, and they can actually take those AR quizzes at home. Again, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm not supposed to tell. They don't like people doing that, but it's actually available. And if that's more beneficial for your child, I say go ahead and do it. I've done it. I'm going to be honest. All right, Renaissance just doesn't like us doing that. All right. Another thing I'm going to bring up, if we go down slightly on some of these, right there, News ELA, you see that piece there. And if we click on that, and News ELA, again, I know I talked about with Brain Pop that, you know, just one of the bigger things about reading is just building a child's academic vocabulary, because when they're reading a lot of different text, when they're watching a lot of different videos, they're picking up on the words that are being spoken or read, and it builds their academic vocabulary. So if you come in to News ELA, and you're like, you know, my child just wants to read on different news topics, you have all these different articles here that your child has available to them to just read. I put this here. Sometimes teachers will assign assignments in here. We haven't really used it a lot this year, but you have tons of different topics. I know we've done coronavirus topics because kids were wondering what the coronavirus was, and there are actually articles in here on the coronavirus. So these are different things. You can come in here if you want to build your child's, again, academic vocabulary. Come in here, click on some of these, and have them read them. They're interesting topics, so it's just another item that is available to you. Okay. And those are probably the main pieces that we have available to you, but all these are available at home. And they're great resources to have. I do want to go down a little bit on this Clever. Again, this is my son's Clever. And if you go down, you have the typing.com to where you can practice typing, which is a nice piece there. Quaver, my daughter uses that at home. That's music. So if your child loves music, you can actually do music lessons on Quaver Ed. Just to give you some examples, and all kids have access to this. It's great stuff. If you keep going down there, I want to show, I don't know if people knew this, keep going. It's the next one right there. And if you didn't know, all children have access to Office 365. So I didn't know if all parents knew this, but all students at Binkley and at all MNPS schools have access to Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. So you as a parent, if you want to work with your child on one of those, that's also an opportunity. Now we're going to go back to the top of this page to the main ones. All right. So I'm going to just bring back up what I said at the beginning. You know, one of the things that's really worked for me, again, I'm a parent. I had 3 children here last year. I have 2 students here this year. 2 of my children here this year. Lexia and iReady have been huge for me in helping them grow. They've grown tremendously since they've been at Binkley the last 2 or 3 years, and I will say Lexia and iReady are 2 of the main reasons why. I have them do over the goal. If it says 60 minutes in Lexia, my kids are doing 90. If it says 30 minutes in iReady, I'm doing 60. And my children have really come to where they'll be at home and they actually like to watch Brain Pop for fun. And like I said, both of my children have really picked up on different things that have really helped build their academic vocabulary. Those have been the 3 that have been the best for me and my children and really helped them accelerate their learning. So that's what's worked for me. We do a lot of AR as well, but I would say for Lexia, iReady, and Brain Pop, for me personally as a parent, they have been really beneficial for me in helping my children. All right, so moving forward, we've sort of showed you everything that's there. And this is just something that's here, and this is more for 1st through K2 families. For people who didn't know, all 3rd and 4th grade families, the laptops we have in the building, they're automatically assigned to the student. We really sort of want the student taking that home each day and working on some of these programs if they haven't completed it. But we did want to offer the opportunity for K2, which currently now You can't take that laptop home. And we're not really publicizing this, but if you as a parent or a K2 parent, you're like, you know, I would love to have the MNPS laptop at home and work on some of these programs with my child. Well, if you want that, you can actually request for this form to be sent home to you, and you can actually sign off that you would like the laptop being sent home, and we'll do that for you. And even in K2, even though that's not part of the MNPS policy, if you sign off here, we will allow you to do that. Just know that you know, a parent is liable for, like, if their kid drops a laptop at home or spills drink all over the laptop. If you take it home, your child is liable for that, and that's what all that text in that is. But if this is something that you're willing to take that responsibility, you think this would really benefit your child, and you would like to take the MNPS laptop home, where it's a lot easier. Kids are used to, they know how to get on the computer and log automatically onto Clever. If that's something you want, you can request us send this document home, sign it. We'll assign the laptop directly to your kid, which has not been done now, and they can start taking it home daily and working on these. So that can be an option. All right. And I know we talked about this at the beginning of our training today. Campus Portal is another way that you can help your child be successful in school. So if you don't have a Portal account yet, right now you can pull out your camera on your phone, take a picture of this QR code, and go ahead and we'll set up a Campus Portal for you. Just put in a request and we'll do it for you. So if you have a few seconds here and you don't have one, go ahead and use this QR code and request for one to be. Request for a portal account, and we'll make one for you. Everybody could see my daughter in the background watching in the back, which was odd, but we're still at school. So now, if any of you have any questions right now, hopefully you've put it in the Q&A. If you have any more, continue to put it in there, and I'll let Dr. Wetstein come on and talk about any questions that she's got.
Hey there, everybody. Mr. Urquhart, I think you need to, oh, there we go. Okay, hey everybody, this is Dr. Wetstein here in the Q&A, just answering some questions. A couple questions that came up. What happens if I need more support? So if you're still confused, you still have more questions, you can come up to the front office. Miss Tammy Dryden is a great support that she can help you. She's been helping parents create the portal accounts. And so if you have questions about Clever, you can ask your child's teacher, or you can always come up to the office and we'll gladly help you. And then for the most part, we are at 40% as a school with the number of parents with accounts. So we're really trying to get that number to 100. We will likely be sending 100%. We will likely be sending a paper home. So if anyone has not created their account yet, all you have to do is complete the paper and get it back to school, and we'll help you so that you can access all of your children's grades at home. I'm going to give it just a few more seconds, but at this point, I think we've answered most of the questions. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I'm always available if you want to call the front office and ask some more questions. So I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Urquhart, to close us out.
I would just like to thank all families for attending the meeting tonight. So again, if you have any more questions or concerns, just contact us. You can email myself at james.urquhart@mnps.org, or you can email Dr. Wetstein at kaylee.wetstein@mnps.org, or call the school at 615-333-5037. We're always willing to help. Again, thank you for being the best school community in MNPS. Thank you for attending. And like I said, if you have any more questions, just let us know. Have a great night.